By the way, Keaton, deep down you sincerely hope you can save Wolf, am I right?
The professor was without a doubt an outstanding individual. During our training, he was the fencing instructor.
Fencing? What?
Yes, of all the special forces throughout the world, the SAS is the only one that offers this course. The lost art of chivalry. The professor was unmatched.
It's like a Japanese chess game. Listen, Keaton, when you took my sword at the 5th move, the match was over. The sword may form the symbol of a cross. To the winner, it's a sign of victory. To the loser, however, it's a grave marker.
Then there was a man named Al Flair, another combat instructor with his own unique approach to training.
Does that do anything for you, wise guy? This is first-hand combat training. If you block the carotid artery, a human will drop in 7 seconds. Works wonders, doesn't it? On the other hand, if you miss the artery even by a hair, the victim will feel pain like never before.
He took real pleasure in being sadistic.
Hey, what do you want?
May I remind you, he isn't just your student.
Hey! How about we give these recruits a demonstration? I hear you're not only good with a knife, but also with your bare hands. Eh, Professor?
Are we talking a training exercise?
Nah, call it what you like.
So that's how it is, huh? Then you of all people should know better. Always make the first move.
Damn you!
Professor, no!
Plan on using that gun on me? I wouldn't advise it. At this distance, a knife is faster than a bullet.
Flair always carried a chief's special tucked away in his back pocket. But at the court-martial, he insisted that on that particular day, he didn't have it on him.
That thing, it's a code between you and Wolf, am I right?
Oh, you figured out my secret message.
All right then. I suppose I can look the other way when you and Wolf meet on the field of battle. You're not the only one here, though, who has a job to do, so I'm going to let you have your way, but under one condition.
Who is it?
Claire finally found you. Do you really think you could get away from me?
Unlike all the other times, it seems you lucked out and landed yourself one hell of a man, huh? I'm getting all teary-eyed.
Stay away! I said stay away! I'll shoot!
I don't think you have it in you to pull that trigger.
That's where you're wrong. I'm getting out of here and starting over.
Try to change your life all you want.
People who are born to be scum will always be scum. Don't worry, honey. I wouldn't dream of killing you. Instead, what I'll do is use you as the bait to catch much bigger prey. James Wolfe? Yeah, the guy that moved in on the Syndicate's heroin market. He's a crazy one for sure.
Perhaps Wolfe didn't have enough experience to know he should be afraid.
Well, the word on the street is that he had every intention of making the Corsicans angry.
It was deliberate?
Yeah, from what I can gather, he has a grudge against them and is determined to bring them down.
I haven't been in contact with my brother for 5 years.
I had no idea. James told me he had a daughter. Is that true?
Yes, that would be Karen.
So, where's she living now?
She's no longer with us.
What?
It was a car accident. My brother was always terribly strict, with himself as well as with his family. That may have been perfectly suited to military life, but when forcing it on your child, Karen felt isolated and lonely. Eventually, she started hanging out with the wrong crowd. At first, it started out as a form of rebellion against her father.
At first?
Then one day, we received word from the DDMC that Karen was there.
The DDMC? The Drug Dependency Medical Center, right? Karen wasn't just acting out anymore, she'd become an addict.
After his discharge, he and Karen were living in the same house together. However, the way he expressed his love to her, it wasn't anything like a parent. It was more like an officer in the military. Then one day, she just couldn't handle it anymore, and in a fit of rage, she ran away from home. Mr. Keaton, please, save my brother from himself. He's trying to repent for his daughter's death by sacrificing his own life.
Otter,
I have a message for Keaton.
let me guess, you must be Wolfe.
Tell him this. Meet me at Ladywell Hill.
The swords may form the symbol of a cross. To the winner, it's a sign of victory. To the loser, it's a grave marker. You saw our secret code at Swan's Manor, Professor. You got involved in the drug trade in order to get close to the Corsicans and claim revenge.
As a lad, much of my time was spent hunting. I remember my first prey was a rabbit. I took aim and fired my rifle, and the bullet hit the rabbit's hind leg. The leg was dragging as the rabbit made its escape. I went after it. That's when I thought, a rabbit that can't run is better off not being alive. Even so, I did nothing but tag along behind it and observe. So what would have been the proper thing to do, Keaton? Make some attempt to treat it or put it out of its misery? To this day, I still don't know.
You won't have to wait very much longer, honey. As for you, Mr. Wolf, I'll tear him into tiny pieces for you. How does that sound? You look positively beautiful when you're angry, honey.
I think you misunderstood us. Our men will take care of Wolf. Your job here is done.
Now that wasn't part of the deal we negotiated, eh? Swan gave me his personal assurance that if anyone were to finish him off, it would be me. Besides, what makes you think you can actually pull it off yourself?
What?
Hey, all right. No offense meant. Let's talk this over. I'm certain we can strike a new deal.
Hey, come on. I've had enough of this petty bickering.
Yes, but...
It's like I said. What makes you think you can finish him off?
After my daughter's death, I searched for answers to the drugs that destroyed her. I was obsessed. Then I found out about the Corsicans and the Syndicate. I began my smuggling operation. There was Sparrow, who became my business partner, and Lord Swan, who was the financier. I waited for the Corsicans to get wind of our little enterprise and, of course, order a hit on me. But they never came. The quantity of heroin we handled just wasn't significant enough.
And that's why you smuggled cocaine.
I'd finally been given the chance to succeed. In fact, we very nearly destroyed the Corsican Mafia's all-important heroin market.
However, Swan and Sparrow switched allegiances to the Corsicans and sold you out. That's why you killed Sparrow?
Not really. That wasn't the only reason for me to do it. Soon afterward, I found out that the dealer who had been supplying drugs to Karen was, in fact, Paul Sparrow. Karen, no! Do you know who does drugs? Scum, that's who!
Are you going to hit me? If you want to hit me, then go ahead, do it! But remember, I am your only daughter. Oh, please say something, Father. Say something!
Very soon after that, Karen swerved over to the other lane, and she was killed by an oncoming truck.
Professor, please, turn yourself into Scotland Yard.
A young girl's being held hostage at Swan's Manor, and she needs me to rescue her.
Wait a minute.
Look, I'm on the verge of an answer. With my experience on that first hunt, I can't live without knowing.
Ah, Keaton, any news yet? Well, did you get to meet up with him?
Yes. And Chief Otter, I have a pretty interesting story for you regarding Lord Swan, straight from the Professor. Make sure to keep an eye out. I have a sneaking suspicion we triggered the sensor.
I think so too.
It's Pepper. Liquid carbon tetrachloride from a fire extinguisher mixed with aluminum powder in a wine bottle. Well, let's go.
Don't do anything. Let me take care of him.
Finally showed up. Been waiting for you.
It'll be all right.
Five short years ago, you were definitely much stronger than me, eh? Take this!
Stop all this! No more!
James! Oh.
Lord Swan, I believe we'll be coming aboard as your guests. Looks like you're loading the goods. We'd be happy to give you some assistance.
But how did you...
We were tipped off by your friend. Too bad you weren't able to get away from Wolf after all.
There's no way I can convince you to turn yourself in?
I imagine that she's reached her destination by now. I certainly owe you one.
You can't run from the Corsicans forever. It's better to treat it than to let it suffer. Right now, I'm only talking about you. You're the injured rabbit.
That's rather a unique way of thinking. Keaton, you're a man like no other I've ever known. Keaton, I'll say this, you do have a unique way of fighting. Unfortunately, it's too unique. I'm afraid that you'll never be a professor. Master, that's your limit, Keaton.
Are you doing all right? What happened to Mr. Wolf? How long has it been now? A week already?
A rabbit.
Oh. What a pitiful little creature. Alone in the wild and so easy to hunt down.
Oh no, that's not true at all. Even if somehow the rabbit gets cornered, it still has the courage to fight.